So welcome back. So in the last, when we were talking about the duplex communication, so in WebSocket what happens, my question was that how do we know like which server user is connected to? So for that, simply we are going to keep on mapping. So the mapping will be between like user ID, server ID, and this is going to make a connection. Okay, so this mapping we are going to store in some memory caches. Like in memory caches you can do memory caches, or Redis if you are using, then Redis you can use. And when user connect, so server, when the first time user is coming to connect, so server registered that user, your backend or server registered that user. Okay, so this mapping is established now. So when the message arrives, so we first find which server holds that user from this mapping, and then route the message to that particular server. Okay, now second question was that message routing, right? How does one server send message to another server? Okay, server 1, server 2, now how they will send the message, right? So for this we are going to have something PubSub model, and this PubSub maybe Kafka you can use. So what will happen now in the flow diagram, if I draw, so it will be like sender is going to send the backend service, and backend service is going to push that message in the PubSub, and PubSub will whosoever listening, so the target server will be find it out from where, from the previous one, from mapping, this mapping. So I got the target server, and then again it will go to the client, right? So each WebSocket server subscribe to the user specific topic. Okay, so this, for this implementation we need some topics. Okay, so each WebSocket server is going to subscribe a user specific topic. So when message is published, correct user receive it and send it to client. So this decouples the routing logic. So never directly server to server communication happens here, always go via some PubSub models. Okay, now coming to the load balancing. Okay, so what we are going to discuss in that, we cannot use stateless load balancing. Stateless means once the request is over, we forget about who was the making this communication, what was the last message, what was the state of that message, we don't know. So because in WebSocket we need a connections stickiness. Once the connection is established between the server 1 and server 2, then all the communication from that user to that user has to be follow that path. Okay, we cannot send from now server 3 to server 2, no, this is not possible. So we cannot use the stateless load balancing here, because WebSocket needs connection stickiness. So we are going to use layer 4 load balancer. So are some sticky session in the layer 7. If you are having you are going to implement one extra layer like sticky session, then you can use the layer 7 load balancer. I mean application level load balancer. Here I am talking about the network level load balancer. So least connection strategy we are going to use, because each connection consumes the resource, so we have to follow that also. So connection is the unit of load, not request. So this is the whole thing about this. So remember this, we are not going to talk about stateless things, we are going to talk about stickiness session we have to maintain. Okay, so now one more question that we discussed, what happen if server crashes? Okay, so if server crashes, all the connection is going to be lost. Client going to detect the disconnections, and client reconnect automatically. So to handle the missed message, what we are going to do, we are going to use message persistent. Okay, So whenever chat message is going on, so all the messages should save for some time in some system, right? So maybe in Kafka you can save it, or if you are having the Redis stream, that is also okay. Okay, these two kind of things we can store that. So message persistent should be there, and each message has offset and sequence number. Okay, so when you go in detail in the Kafka, so this is required. So offset should be there plus sequence number, right? So when client reconnects, it requests the missed message, because it's know that this message is saved somewhere, so I just have to reload those. So WebSocket is not reliable by default. We have to build it. We have to build reliability by ourselves. So remember that point. So that reliability comes with this storage. Okay. So this is the point that I want to discuss. So we are done with this. Now let's go to the next topic, and I will see you in the next lecture.